Hey everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at the new Generation 2 of the Guardian Tactical Recon-035. So let's go ahead and get this box open. It's in the same box that they've been using for a little bit now, so I'm not going to focus on that too much. So here's our first look at the Gen 2. You'll see that the handle still looks pretty familiar, some updates to those contours, and we'll talk more about that here in a bit. One of the most notable changes that you'll see is there on that blade. So first of all, they are in MagnaCut now, which is really cool. This particular one is their really nice two-tone with satin on the flats and then a nice black coating on the rest of the blade. You'll see that their single edge has changed now and now has kind of that harpoon look on the top there. Now if I go ahead and bring in one of their new Scout versions, you can see that is kind of Guardian's new aesthetic, it seems like. So while this doesn't have that same almost clip point that the Scout has, you can see that they both have very similar inspiration. So I think that's pretty neat. I don't want to say this for a fact, but from what I've heard, it seems like they are no longer going to be making double edges. I'm unsure about Tonto's at the moment, and I believe their Desert Tan handles are also not going to be made anymore. But I'll go ahead and bring out some of the different versions here. You'll see that they are still making their really popular OD. Their green has been one of their best sellers across all of their sizes. And you'll see that we still have a nice stonewash, that two-tone, dark stonewash, and then the fully blacked out versions, all available in serrations as well. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, at the moment it is just going to be those two colorways. Now, I'd like to be able to really compare this to the last version of the 035, but sadly those have been sold out for quite a while now. I'm unsure if they're ever going to go back and make any more of the Gen 1. Before we get any further, links that'll take you on over to GPKNIVES.com are in the description box below. There you can see all the different versions, specs, and even pick one of these up for yourself. And while I don't have a Gen 1 to compare to, I can at least throw an image of it on screen here so you can see the changes side by side. So you can see how the blades changed, the handles changed, and a really big thing to note is you can see down here, if I flip this over, this pocket clip is in fact now reversible, when on the old version it was not. So that's a pretty cool update. Other than that, we're still running on Guardian Tactical's patented floated bearing slide switch, which is just one of the absolute smoothest slides you'll find on an OTF out there. These are still made in Pennsylvania here in the USA, and those small subtle changes I think just make it an even more EDC friendly carry. Now for some size comparisons, I'll go ahead and show it next to the Recon-025. You can see it is quite a bit bigger. Already brought in the Scout, but I'll do it one more time. They are very comparable in size. The Scout's going to be a little bit slimmer width-wise, but other than that, pretty comparable. And then, of course, I can't not show it next to the Recon-040, which is kind of like a combat Trudon in size, so it is much, much larger. And then, of course, next to the iconic Microtech Ultratech, both in that really nice two-tone. What can I say? I like what I like. Now let's talk some specs really quickly. So let's go ahead and get this scale out here. So the new Gen 2 is coming in at about 3.6 ounces. Varies just a little bit. That tends to be right at about the number. And if you compare that to like Recon-25, that's at about 2.3. The Scout, 3.2. And about 6.1 on the 040. And for giggles, about 3.3 on the Ultratech. So just a few comparisons there for you. And lastly, some measurements. The blade's at about 3.4 inches and then the handle's at about 4.5, so just shy of about 8 inches overall on this one. So if you've been wanting to pick up a Recon-035, but maybe you haven't been able to get your hands on one because they've been busy for a while, innovating and making all these updates to this new version, or maybe you're just looking for something a little bit different, I think the new blade shape on here looks really good, and just all the small little quality of life changes to the handle make this an excellent option for an EDC OTF. If you plan on picking one of these up, be sure to let me know in the comments below. While you're down there, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to see even more specs on this or pick up one for yourself, links as always are in the description box below. They'll take you on over to GPKNIVES.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, stay sharp.